Hello Captains, it's me, TONIK TZW. I'm hoping that I'm going to have another video to release alongside this one because this game really does need to be seen from two angles. And I want to give a big shout out to the countries of Brazil and Turkey because that's where the two players are from that helped me out in this game. And it is Jeff, Eugene in the Nuremberg, and I want to say it's Ferrazimus in the Izmail. I may have gotten that right or wrong in pronunciation or spelling or whatever, but big shout out to those two guys because together we are going to play one heck of a game. There may be some audio from the game chat in this one, but hopefully the narration will override that. But yeah, if you do hear somebody speaking in the background, it's probably picking up the game chat. One of the things we also had in this game was a couple of absolute spuds. And let's just say that very early in the game, my language was not the cleanest because I just could not believe how much of a dope on a rope two of these guys were. We're going to push out. We're going to get onto the cap. We are located. There's only one destroyer in the game, so there's the potential that the destroyer is pushing this cap with me. However, Dutch cruiser captains can also have the perceptive trait on, or similar to perceptive trait, that tells them where the closest enemy ship is. And we've got the Eindracht there, and he's going to hide behind an island, and so is the Oba. But we've got some big ships there holding the center of the map, and I am going to be a tactical genius in this game, if I do say so myself. But I may make a few little faux pas or mistakes. I think faux pas is French for like an error or a mistake. But yeah, my French isn't the best. But this little boat, from what I've played of it so far, it's not the best, it's not the worst, but it is certainly in the top third of fun ships to play. I'm really enjoying the line so far. The tier 4 was a little bit more of a difficult grind, but I did manage to have some fun in that one, and I did save the last match of the grind on the tier 4. So I'll try to remember to record that one and put it up as well, because that was quite a hard fought fight. Now the game I lost in this ship, which was the second game I ever played in it, that was just an absolute rubbish team. Somebody had crossplay turned off, and although we were on for a win, our aircraft carrier decided to sail up the middle of the map against a Murmansk and get himself killed. And that's even though I'd spent 5 minutes telling him to get back, get back, get back. Now we've taken this cap, and I do say that with those Dutch cruisers, you can't leave them to hide behind an island and reload their airdrops. You need to push them and get rid of them. Now we have lost 2 cruisers from this side, and I spot that the Gneisenau is pushing hard. There's also a California, there's also a Colorado, and I do believe that Red Team's destroyer is definitely not on this side of the map now, that he's going to be on the other side of the map, and I need to get across there and support these guys and try and stop this push of heavy steel through the middle of the map. You can see there where the Gneisenau was last spotted. The California is there with it as well. The Colorado is not far behind. There's still a few more ships out there as well. And these poor guys on this side of the map who aren't pushing, they aren't running and kiting away, they are just getting absolutely hammered. Unfortunately, some players aren't the brightest. We all make mistakes, but if you think that playing a game is just about sitting behind an island and bow tanking and trying to soak damage, yep, you're sadly mistaken. Now, I did see some torpedoes come in from that side. I'm looking. Their destroyer is a Monotone. Here comes the California. Now, one of the things with these torpedoes is they don't hit massively hard. I don't know what the max damage is, but oh, look. There's a Monaghan, and that's because I spotted that the cap was contested. He sailed straight into that. I know the California is behind me, but I'm trying to go and put some paint on this guy, drop my smoke screen. I'm going to go dark. I know that means he's not spotted anymore, but see if we can get one more shot onto him. Expecting torpedoes coming through that smoke. There we go. We get 3 torpedo hits, 2 fires, 1 incapacitation on that California. Now, because there were a couple of people listening in, and there was one person who was talking there, Firaziman, he was on comms, we were talking targets, and I was calling torpedo hits, fires, floods, incapacitations, just to give him an idea of what was happening against the red team, so that he could help out as well. And Jeff Eugene, he's the guy in the Nuremberg. He was listening in as well and given the odd affirmative, I think, on the command wheel, which was great. California is pushing in. We've put 1 set towards the Gneiss now, 1 set towards the California, I think. And we are going to push back behind our smoke screen as that California ticks down. Monaghan has got himself spotted again, so we're going to put another salvo out there towards him, see what we can do about that. Why he started firing his guns, I don't know, but we get another torpedo hit, flood, fire, and an incapacitation again. I believe that was on the California, and I'm not sure if somebody else killed it there. Yes, he is. He's gone. My other torpedoes might have picked it up if he'd have kept going, but here we go. Gneiss now is pushed straight in behind that island again, but I've got him spotted. Unfortunately, our ships on that side of the map are looking pretty battered, beaten and worn, and I'm just thinking, do I put my other set behind him as we lose our Fuso? No, he's going to crawl forward. That's why you shouldn't always fire all your torpedoes at the same time. We waited to see what happens. There is the Monaghan, so they're contesting this cap, so it's going to come down to who kills all the ships, because we are only earning points for 1 cap each. But Monaghan makes the mistake again of firing his guns, and that means if anybody's in range, he's going to get spotted, and he's not going to avoid those torpedoes. And now the Gneiss now is on his own. He doesn't really have any backup with him, but he's going to take a little tap on the buttocks there with another fire, flood, and an incapacitation. I'm guessing that's going to be an engine or a rudder. He's burning. He's dead in the water. And now, I'm going to say it, yeah, it's Jeff Eugene. You can see him wailing on with the HE there. I'm hoping to pick up a kill, but no, the fire ticks him down beforehand to give us a kill assist. So we're only on 56,000 damage. We were kind of losing horribly. Now, Firaziman there calls for somebody, like in a moment, he calls for somebody to push onto C-cap, because red team are going to sail down onto that. And I call and tell him that, no, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push back against this Colorado. I'm going to get onto their cap. We're going to put some torpedoes down at them now. And then we're going to try and pick them up on the other side of the islands. And I'm keeping an eye on the minimap to see what the position is of people. Hitting the brakes here, because the Eindracht is on my left behind this island, and there he is. And this is where things are going to get a little bit dodgy to me, because if the Colorado comes forward, I could be in a world of hurt here. But we do have a smoke screen available. We're holding the cruiser spotted, we're holding the Colorado spotted, and that Dutch cruiser is going to get one hell of a wake-up call off our friend here in the Ismail. And Nuremberg there chipping in with some HE first of all, but that is a dev strike. Now, we landed a few torpedoes on this Colorado. We know that the remainder of the ships are across there on the outside of Charlie Cap on the far side. I'm just pinging the map with the location of where they are. But this Colorado, I think, is wanting to be in kind of a crossfire position. They've obviously been in the game a while because they're running the, is it the Star Trek Borg camo there? It's actually quite a nice camo. It's a flat black, and I enjoy it. I've kept mine because I don't know which ship I'm going to put it on. But we are playing on the limit of concealment here. We need to be 5.5 when we come past this island. There we go. So keeping an eye on range of concealment, and we can sneak into this cap as we put our second set of torpedoes out. We put the second set, if you watch there, to the right. Even though he's reversing, we put the second set to the right of the first set, because if he sees the first set coming, he could gun his engines forward, and if we put it to the rear or to the left of the first set and he went forward, we would miss them. Now, it does look like he's already hit forward gear, but it's a little bit too late, and that second set of torpedoes were absolutely beautiful. Now, at this point of the game, from the video that I played the other day, I think it was 103,000 damage I did in the first game that I played in this ship. And we're already past that, and there's still the Helena, there's still the Normandy, and there is still an Ismail. But I'm doing that horribly painful thing of having to sit in a capture point and wait for it to turn, just to make sure that we still have the advantage. Red team will either have to come for this cap, or they're going to have to sail all the way across the map to the far side to take that one. What our KGV was doing, I don't know. He obviously had a plan in his mind. Unfortunately, Red team putting so many shells through his head obviously took that plan out of his mind, and it didn't work. So I call the cap. I tell the guys that I'm going to push forward and I'm going to try and keep things spotted now, but it's going to get incredibly close. Now, I could fire my guns at the Nagato, couldn't I? I could try and put my torpedoes through that gap, but I want to try and push through, get all the way through, open water, and then be on the flank. But I'm not sure how much space I'm going to have here. I could YOLO straight round the corner, but I'm not confident that all of my torpedoes would do enough damage to kill him, or that I'd be at the right angle to get them off going around that corner, because as you see there, that little rock there, I get spotted through the gap. Now we are spotted. We've got the Strasbourg spotted all the way, sorry, not the Strasbourg, the Normandy. He has just fired his guns at me, but Farazaman was already on that one, and he absolutely went out of the game. A cheap kill, and then we pop our smoke screen because we want this guy to basically crap his pants. I'm waiting for everybody else to get into position, and somebody else might spot him. That'll let me get my torps on. But there we go. He's going to cut through the island again, but we know where he is, so we're going to gun it forward so that he has to turn his ships to get our turrets on. But that salvo there was such a wonderful dev strike, and I was like, okay, there's one guy left here. We are holding this game together. We are pulling it back for the win. It's been some absolutely amazing teamwork. And Jeff Eugene there in his cruiser is very low health, but he's playing smart and staying concealed and already taken shots as and when he knows he is not going to take return fire, because he does not want to throw his ships away, and that was a very smart thing to do. Now I'm on the cap, the Helena knows I'm here, and I'm thinking, okay, you're flat broadside to me. I've got a smoke screen coming up in like 30 seconds or so, and I know I've got a great big battleship behind me, and so I decide that I'm going to annoy this guy by firing some armor piercing at him, just to give myself an idea of how much damage it does. And I'm also drawing fire away from the other ships, because his guns are now pointed at me, which means they're not pointed at anybody else. And the second my smoke screen comes up, I'm going to hit that button and we are going to disappear, and that means that he isn't going to be able to see us anymore. We've got hit points to trade, he hasn't. So we're going to go dark, and I tell the guys, hold on, I'm coming straight out of the smoke screen again. And Farazaman is saying, he comes up and he says, I think I've got time for one more shot. So I've switched back to high explosive. I don't know what we're going to be able to do to this guy. I'm looking at the minimap to see when the guns are going to come round. It's okay if this Helena kills me. The game is won. We aren't losing this one anytime soon. We've definitely got the win in the bag here. So I don't even know why I fired my torpedoes, but the shots are going to come in. There we go. Good night. Kraken Unleashed and Confederate for Farazaman there. Just over 110,000 damage for me. That is a new personal best. We get 2 kills, 2 assists. We get a couple of solo caps and a cap reset there, which was a job well done. Quite a few incapacitations. But even though we only had 2 kills does beat a Kraken. And between the 3 of us, even though we weren't in division, we did get 8 of the 9 kills. So thank you again, captains, for the 2 of you playing and listening and communicating, because we absolutely dominated that match, even though we had a few early sacrifices from the blueberries on our own team. So I hope you've liked that one. As I said, if I do get the video for Farazaman's Kraken, I'll put that on as a showcase, but please do smash the like button, leave me a comment, subscribe, and as always, until next time, take care of yourselves and goodbye.